Welcome into another exclusive Garnet Trust interview. Today we are with Gamecock running back MarShawn Lloyd, and today's Garnet Trust interview is brought to you by our friends over at 360 Clean. 360 Clean is the innovation leader of the janitorial service industry. 360 Clean offers a health-focused cleaning service and is expanding nationally through locally owned franchise owners. You can learn more by going to 360clean.com. And Marshawn, you're sporting that 360 Clean sweatshirt over there. Looking good, man. Feeling relaxed, but I know that relaxed feeling is going to change come tomorrow because we are taping this a day before spring ball. This will drop tomorrow. So by the time people see it, practice number one will probably already be in the book. Is it crazy to think that it's already here?
It's definitely crazy to think that it's already here. Like I told you before, it's my first spring ball since I got hurt pretty much 2 years ago. I've never played in a spring game. I'm very excited to finally get out there and just be able to compete with my teammates.
So let's start right there. Let's start right there. And I think, we'll probably get in a little deeper, a little bit quicker, but that's all right. Because
Oh,
I think
definitely.
that's something that's on the minds of a lot of people. I mean, you mentioned it, right? I mean, I think back to when you were a freshman and early enrollee, you come in, I mean, you're feeling good, right? And then obviously a couple months later, you tear your ACL. What was that
Yes.
moment like? I know you've talked with us about it before, but we haven't had an opportunity to really take a step back now that last season's over. You had that first season under your belt. What was that feeling like going from, all right, I'm enrolling early to get a jump start on everyone, and then a couple months later, you just get hurt?
It was breathtaking. Coming into South Carolina early, I knew I was going to be able to play early. I thought about the future a lot. What I can do for this team. I was thinking so far ahead. I'm a very religious guy. I feel like I was just going too fast. I wasn't waiting my time. I feel like God sat me down for a little bit and told me like just calm down. It's going to come. And since then it's been a mental process with the knee injury and everything. First coming off having this year to be able to play and getting used to getting hit again is definitely my mental side of things. And it's perfect. The time off definitely allowed me to be able to get stronger. Just confidence. Confidence is what got me ready for spring ball coming tomorrow.
Now we just did a podcast, one of the podcasts that I do with Marcus Lattimore, Believe in South Carolina, BLEAV, for those interested in listening to it. And one of the big topics that we talked about was you. And he shared his conversation that he had with you when you went down with that injury as someone that went through it himself. And I'm just going to read a little bit of this, of what he said, in case you didn't have a chance to hear it. But, you know, Marcus said, you can't really prepare for it. People can tell you what it's going to be like when you tear your ACL, but I was not prepared for what was to come afterwards. You're looking at your quad muscle that you built up for 18 years, and you think about all the squats and power cleans that you did for lower body workouts to build up to your legs at this point, and then it just kind of just deflates. It deflates, and it just can become a really depressing time period. So I say all that because that's what he went through. I know you guys had conversations, which we can share in just a little bit, but what was that moment going through that stuff? I mean, we've asked you about the injury, but I don't think we've asked you about like moments like that, and especially someone like Marcus that went through it.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a lot to think about. It puts a lot on a young person, pretty much not ever really being hurt and then finally being hurt like with one of the worst injuries you could possibly get. I feel like during that process, it was definitely the mental side of things. It was definitely like the worst part of it. You're young. You're all you've been doing playing football your whole life, and then you finally just you think things about to go your way, and it just turn make a U-turn on you. So I feel like it was rough. It was definitely like you said, a depressing process. It shows you what type of person. It definitely builds character. It humbles you in a way that I already thought I was humble, but it humbles you even more. It encourages you to like it helps you encourage your teammates. It makes you think about more about life than just football. And it really takes that self like it makes you look in the mirror pretty much, and it evaluates you evaluate everything that ever happened to you, and you just try to just be better in every way as possible.
Now, we got into a lot of it about what he talked to you about, some of the text messages, but for people that did not hear that podcast, kind of share with us some of the things that Marcus did. I mean, reaching out to you. I know you guys had a lot of text messages exchanging, and Marcus says like, I didn't want to blow this man's phone up, but I just wanted to let him know that I cared, that I was that I understood what he was going through because, you know, as he kind of worded it, it's like being the guy that everyone just looks to, you know, that excitement, that buzz. And I'm sure you felt it going into it as much as you might want to downplay it when you told us maybe your freshman year or so. I mean, shoot, I can't even think. I mean, Will Muschamp didn't let us speak to the freshmen, so we didn't have an opportunity to talk to you then. But the point being is you go from everyone just being like, all right, Marshawn, and then you're kind of off to the side. And he shared that how, you know, you feel like you're isolated, you're by yourself. What was that like to be able to, number one, have a guy like that, Marcus Lattimore, a guy that's obviously so well respected and the pedigree that he left at South Carolina, reach out to you? But number two, not just reaching out that because he went through that process, but that he just cared about you as a person.
Yeah, definitely. He actually reached out to me a couple of times, just checking on me, really. Nothing about like, football or anything, just checking on how my mentals were. That really meant a lot to me because, Marcus Lattimore he is the biggest, running back to come through University of South Carolina. And to have a guy that not only it happened to him, but, care about what happened to me was amazing. It really, that was a big part of, my uplift of coming through my ACL process. It allowed me to know that, people were there for me. And especially a guy like Marcus Lattimore who went through the same thing, who had, ups and downs in his college career. And he still, was able to succeed in life, throughout football. I feel like it was amazing for him to put, eyes up on a young guy, coming up. And it really opened me and, helped me towards the point I'm at right now.
I remember asking you this question maybe that first week of August, like the beginning of training camp. Then I asked you again towards the end of the year. So I'm going to ask you the same exact question. And now I want to see, now that we've kind of got to this point, you can go look back and you can, I'm not saying you were lying to me, but you can be honest now because you've learned so much about yourself. The question that I always asked you was, how are you feeling mentally? Do you feel like you're back to where you need to be? And not to speak for you, but I wondered at times if you weren't prepared mentally for what you were about to get yourself into. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that you're not smart enough, but the point being is, I think, when you come back from especially a lower body injury, it doesn't matter what level on, right? I mean, I went through it in college myself. It's like you go out there on the field and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm good. I got my muscle back. I'm moving. But then you start thinking, right? You start thinking just a little bit, like every cut, and you start to think about that foot a little bit, or you think about that knee or that ankle. When did you feel comfortable, or have you got to a point now where it's starting to be like, I feel like the old Marshawn? Because I'm sure coming back from an injury like that and playing in the SEC, playing the position that you play, being able to go out there and just play and not react is such an important part of what they're asking you to do every down.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you ask the coaches right now, you guys aren't seeing this working out. If you ask them right now, you ask them how did MarShawn look, they'll probably tell you that, I probably look the best, since I've, been here, since they've seen me been here. They haven't seen me my freshman year, but they watch a little bit of tape, when I got here. So I feel like as of right now, I'm in the best shape I possibly could be in. I'm moving, like I was before. I'm stronger, mentally. Definitely, I'm not even thinking about it. And the mental side of things is the biggest part of this. Not only, it actually healing. The mental side is also it can be good, but the mental side is what really, make or break people throughout this process. It's definitely, it's draining. Thinking about when you're playing college football, you can't. Even like if you're learning plays, if you're thinking about a play, you're just going to mess up. You're not going to be able to compete, at the level that you're trying to. I feel like for me now and before, I'm able to really just play free, have fun with it, and everything has been so good so far. So yeah, everything's been good.
You shared how excited you are for spring football because you haven't been able to play a spring game. For the fact of it being not just your first spring game that you'll be playing in, but the fact that it's going to be at night. If the women's basketball team make a deep run, the NCAA tournament will be over. Masters week is the week before, so that will be done. The only thing going on other than you guys is Easter the next day, so there could be a lot of people back in town to be able to check out this game. How exciting is that going to be, number one? And have you felt just that buzz, if you and your teammates felt that buzz in the year going into this spring ball in comparison to where things were last year.
Oh yeah, we feel a lot of buzz. We know that we're capable to compete with any team in the country. We have the talent here at South Carolina. We just have to put it all together. This is something that we've always wanted to play at night. For me, being my first spring game, I'm just excited just to be able to show the fans the long wait of what they've been missing. I love this school. I've been I knew there was a lot of buzz in my name coming out of high school, so I just want to go out there and let the fans know it's nothing's changed. What they thought is the truth, and I'm just me and my teammates are just ready to go out there and just have fun.
So when Christian Bale-Smith came, I think one of the first things, I believe it was him, I could be wrong, maybe it was another one of your teammates, may have been Terrell Dawkins, actually, the more I'm thinking about it. And they were, talking about some of the guys, like, all right, getting to meet players. And he's like, MarShawn Lloyd is just a freak in the weight room. So I say that because, there's so many new faces. And I say Terrell Dawkins, but, I specifically think about, Christian Bale-Smith. And I get back to the point where I'm going to is this running back room. I mean, just like last year, so many talented running backs. That will be the case again this year. I mean, shoot, Juju McDowell. I mean, he did not look like a freshman last year at times. What is that like being in a room like that? Because I think on the outside, some fans look at it and they say, oh, it's a crowded running back room. They're going to go enter the transfer portal if they don't get enough touches. I mean, that's just like the instant reaction that fans have these days. Can you kind of just put that myth and that stigma to end that right now? And being able to explain, what that's like to be able to play in such a talented room and what that does for you and your psyche, knowing that you have so much talent around you and how it's going to elevate your game.
SEC ball. This is a different type of ball. You do not want to take 50 to 40 carries a game. You want to have somebody in there that can do the same thing you can do. At running back, just later on in life, being a running back, you have to be able to you're not supposed to take as many hits as possible. You need to, portion it out with the different backs, and especially with us having so much talent, we have so many people that can do many things that can be put anywhere on the field. Having a deep backfield, not only does it makes us better, it also makes the team better. It pushes everyone in the running back room each and every day. Competition is a big core value. Coach Beamer, stresses on us. Competition in every position. If you notice, there's been transfers in every position. We want that. We want to compete with everyone. What's a better way to compete against somebody that's on the same team with you? Like that's another best person in the SEC that's on the same team with you. And I feel like that's the best you can ask for. Compete against somebody that I know, like we have the best linebackers and the best D line. Compete against them every day. We need that because when we get on the field against somebody else, it'll make everything a lot easier.
Personally, what does MarShawn Lloyd need to do this year to be able to fulfill some of the dreams that you have this year from an individual standpoint, but more importantly, be able to help this team in 2022?
MarShawn Lloyd needs to not worry about the outside noise and think about what people want or expect from MarShawn, but MarShawn just go out there, be himself, have fun and be confident. That's what I want people to know. Like, I just want to go out there and just, do what I can do, to help the team, and just not focus on, myself and, the team and stop worrying about the outside noise.
Speaking about fun, I know your fun last week in comparison to maybe some of your classmates is a little bit different. You weren't down at PCB doing keg stands or whatever during spring break. You went back home, correct?
I did go back home.
So I know you're helping your family out with moving. I know we were talking about that. Some of your teammates decided to stay on campus, be able to get their mind right for spring ball. What was that week like for you to be able to go home? And what is that time period like leading up to spring ball? Because I think some people think, okay, they're a college kid, they're going to go have fun. And hey, you know what? Some of your teammates did that, so be it. What was MarShawn doing, though, when he went back outside of helping his family with moving?
MarShawn was working out a lot, just I know if I stayed here that MarShawn is so, I'm so on it that I would probably tire myself out before camp started. So going home, spend time with the family, just spending time with my family. Like I said, helping moving, and as well as just working out but really just enjoying time with my family.
The other thing I got to ask you is we had one of your teammates on, Luke Doty, maybe a week or two ago. He was on with our man Wes Mitchell
Okay.
doing one of these Garnet Trust interviews. And Luke said, and I don't know if this is something for this year or if this is just how you've been. He's like, he made something. I don't know if it was nachos, some type of dessert. I don't know what it was. And you were like, Luke, I'm not having that. I'm not putting that in my body. Is that how you've always been? Or is this just something like where you're just so full? What is a cheat? Like, what is a cheat meal? Like, I got where is it? I don't know if I have it next to me right now. I'm trying to see if I got it. I had my TB12 method Tom Brady book, and I know he only eats like certain foods. His avocado ice cream is his cheat meal. Is that kind of like to the level that you're on, or like, or is
Yes.
it? Yes.
Oh no, I'm on that. I love like coming out of high school. I've always thought I feel like what you eat is is what you put out. I feel like the food that fuel your body is everything. What you put in your body is what you're gonna get out of it. I've been eating healthy for pretty much since high school, especially more since got to college. Luke's he's actually my roommate. He's the best roommate you can have. Sometimes he'll try to get me to eat something or something like that. Especially when I first got here, I was so on it. I have cheat meals here and there, but for the most part, I'm sticking true to
What's
it
the
because I
cheat
feel like
meals? What's the
my
cheat meals looking like?
my cheat meals are I love chicken wings. So chicken wings or and like when I went home, my girlfriend she loves ice cream. So my cheat meal was ice cream. So I go from wings to ice cream and stuff like that.
And I bring that up because you hear about just the amazing nutrition that you guys have, and how Spencer Rattler, that was one of the reasons why he committed over. What is that like there at the University of South Carolina? Because I went through maybe a couple weeks ago, and I think it was maybe like a Tuesday or a Monday, and you guys were all chefing it up in there, bringing some bringing the carrier the to go containers back to your dorm rooms and whatnot. I mean, what is that like being able to have it, and how much does that help you be able to stay disciplined, or does it make things a little bit more challenging? Because I look at it saying, shoot, everything's right there. But at the same time, I'm sure that there's some stuff that maybe could be tempted to have, and you're like, I shouldn't have that.
Yeah. Oh no, it's amazing. Kristen, our nutritionist, is amazing with the type of food she wants us to eat, and really, I feel like having it there, to your access is easier for me because I feel like if I had to do it myself, it would kind of wage me to like eat something bad. So being able to wake up in the morning and get the breakfast that I want, and having it the way I want it, and then getting out of workouts and not have to worry about cooking it because after workouts you got classes, uh, recovery and stuff like that. So you want to have something that's right there, and I feel like Kristen does a great job with that. She makes sure we have the right amount of we have vitamins. I've never took vitamins until I got here. I take them. I make sure I take them every day. She makes sure we have she lets us take things home. So extra water or like just snacks. We have like a pantry there. She just so Chris is the best. She's amazing. She makes sure she's here for us, and she's been amazing since I got here. I'm actually really close with her. I'm she's not gonna tell. I'm actually one of her favorites for sure. I know because of just the way I'm so into it. I'm a pro when it comes to these things. I feel like if you want to be a pro, you got to start acting like one. And I've just been doing that since I got here.
And I'll back you up on that. I'll back you up. I remember running into you at the grocery store a couple weeks ago. I mean, I did not see any Skittles or anything like that. I mean, it was just fluids and vegetables or whatever the heck you got that day. You didn't have any junk food. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Last thing that I'll end it on though is part of NIL. Obviously, the Garnet Trust interview is one of them, but you've been able to expand your brand by being able to join Uno Athletics and be able to start a clothing line. So what has that been like? And where can people get some of your gear? What's some of the gear that you guys offer?
Oh yeah, we're starting. Uno Athletics is a brand that I thought of probably ever since I got here. If you notice, like way back in my Instagram, I've always stuck with Uno. Like after each post, I always stuck with Uno, and I feel like that was something that really stuck out to me. The best part about it was like when you think of some Uno Athletics, you think of something that when you think of Uno Athletics, you think of something that put out things like oneself or selflessness or pretty much just bringing the best out of someone in every situation. Or athletics has been big for me because all the things I've been through, and all the things that I've went through throughout my year at South Carolina, it's helped me pretty much express that in a way of brand. And I know that a lot of people go through a lot of the similar things throughout their life. So I wanted to make a brand that allowed someone to express themselves, to value themselves and view themselves as being the best version of themselves, bettering themselves each and every way, being the one person that they know they can be. I feel like Uno Athletics really, really express people's the way people view things and how, like for instance, I have for my brand, I have a signature animal, and it's like a butterfly. The reason I use a butterfly is because it explains, like, if you think of a butterfly, you think of like resurrection, rebirth, just like a new life. So when you're thinking of a butterfly, it starts off as a caterpillar, and then it goes into a cocoon, and then eventually it's just a new beginning. It starts a new life. It's a new thing, and I just wanted to express that to people. The way you can get it is by my website is unoathleticsllc.com, and it's just been going great so far. And the fans have been very supportive and been loving my brand in this way.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. And look, people, check it out. Check them out. Check them out. I know a bunch of your teammates. I know DeCarrion Joyner also has a line, so be sure to be able to support these Gamecock student athletes. And if you want to continue to support them in other ways too, you can go visit GarnetTrust.com to be able to help pay for interviews like this that go right to MarShawn Lloyd's pocket, so he's able to go out and go get some more of that good food. He's not getting that junk food. He's putting it right back, putting it into the product of Gamecock football. But we want to thank our friends over at 360 Clean for setting up this interview today. We want to thank MarShawn as well. And we're excited to see you back out there, bud. Spring football practice number 1 on Tuesday, which I think we're going to put this one out tomorrow. So by the time, like I said, people listen to this, practice number 1 will be in the books.
Yes, sir.